Live. You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Avowed on the GTX 1650, 3050 and 3060 and 4060. How are you guys doing? Welcome. So Avowed just released on PC. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm a few days late, but that's actually because the Gamepass access to the game and the game itself actually releases today. For people that paid for the premium edition, you could play it last week, but I didn't want to do it, and I have Game Pass, so thanks to Xbox for providing a PC Game Pass code. I appreciate that. Hey guys, Edrich, Hamza, hi, how's it going? So about this yet another UE5 game, but there's a few things that we gotta take a look at. So first of all, again, if you bought the $90 edition, you could play it on Friday, and they recommend that you pay the extra. No thanks. So requirements, again, UE5 game, Ryzen 5 2600 or i5 8400, so 6 cores, 12 threads, according to this, 16 gigabytes of RAM, that's not asking for much, graphics, RX 5700 or GTX 1070 or ARC A580. So considering the GPUs that they are talking about right here, we should have at least 8 gigabytes of VRAM. That's my guess. Then when it comes to the recommended ones, a more powerful 6-core 12-thread CPU, a 6800 XT or a RTX 3080. And we need 75 gigabytes of space. The third person looks weird. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a Bethesda game when it comes to third person. I haven't played it, but I've seen footage and it's pretty funny. So it just released, but we also got patches already. So thank you, the premium edition users, for beta testing the game for us. Just kidding. So patch 1.2.2 right now. Tier penalty system was, yeah, there's a lot of changes. Missing NPCs, fixes for quests, NPC improvements, economy, whatever, crashes, optimize handling of VFX while the game is paused, remove chance to crash when casting Corsair Siphon, systems and gameplay, improve frame rate when rendering damage numbers on multiple enemies at once. That's okay, we're not using damage numbers. And audio improvements, visuals and art, and a lot of improvements. So that's basically what I wanted to show you. Requirements seem to be decent considering it's a UE5 game. Seems to be like the norm. But we start with a 1650, so we only got 4 gigabytes of VRAM. This is going to be fun. So yeah. Electric Pichu, how's it going? 2060 run good? Yeah, it should be fine. If it runs on... Yeah, the 2060 should be more than enough. Especially if you don't mind using DLSS, which is a classic. Oh, okay, it's preparing my game. Of course, I preloaded the game, so it needs to unpack. This is the first time this happens to me on the Xbox app, actually. This is more of a Steam thing for me. So we can drink coffee. Avowed. That's a good one, man. It won't run on the 1650. We'll see. I mean, 4 gigabytes of VRAM in UE5 tends to be pretty challenging because of the texture loading. So yeah, we'll see. You're welcome. Should you buy a 1050 Ti for $50? It depends on your country, but if the games you want to play work on that one, sure. $50 is fine. Game is fun so far. Steam unpacking takes so much time. Yeah, it takes forever. It really depends a lot on your SSD as well. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be special. It just needs to work and be a fun game. That's all I'm asking for. My standards for games are not that high lately. After playing so much broken stuff, I hope it's good. You have 4060? Yeah, you should be fine. We're going to try the 4060 as well. The 4060, I'm pretty sure, can do ultra settings with DLSS. Your game installs fast, but you do have a 7950X. Yeah, way faster. About alpha. No, it's actually the full game now. We're on patch 1.2.2, I think. So yeah, as I always say, when I don't get premium access, so early access to the game, thanks to the premium edition users for beta testing the game for us. Hey, game lover! You're confused between 7900 XT versus 4070 Super. Which should I buy? 7900 XT. It's been a while since I saw AMD stuff. Hold on. Versus 4070 Ti. There's a lot of videos on that. Yeah, it should be between a 4070 and a 4070 Ti. So, I mean, if you want to use RTX features, or probably RT features, better said, I'll get the 4070 Super. I'll make sure it has more than 8 GB of RAM, though. I don't remember the amount of RAM that it has. VRAM, sorry. You recommend the 4070 Super. AMD software is not great. I mean, AMD software improved quite significantly, but you have DLSS and better ray tracing performance in general. So, yeah. Sí, salió el juego. Yeah, guys, you probably saw this game a lot already because the premium edition was available to everyone on Friday. And I honestly didn't want to pay extra. I just have a Game Pass and wanted to download the game and play it. So I was like, okay, let's do something else in the meantime. And we play the game once it's available to everyone. Will you also do Benchmark Black Hawk Down campaign? Oh, I didn't even know it was releasing this Friday. Cool. Thanks for the heads up. I might, actually. $20 GB on Super and 20 GB on AMD. Gotcha. 12 GB should be good enough. Generating shaders. Well, first part, this is good. So first impression from the loading screen. Compiling shaders is a good thing. Hopefully we don't get a stutterfest. Your 2060 really struggles on the Indiana Jones. Oh well, Indiana Jones is pretty demanding. Although you can scale it down pretty well. For what I played so far, it hasn't been hard to keep it running well. The thing is how much visuals you're going to sacrifice to get a playable frame rate. Can you give an answer to your previous question? I cannot read everything, but I'm doing my best. Is 9600X good for 5070, 5070 Ti? Never heard of the 9600X, actually. It's been a while, guys. Oh, this is 6 cores. So I'm guessing 6 cores, 12 threads. Yeah, I should be okay. Yeah, more than enough. Looks pretty blurry and plays worse than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Worse in which way? Are we talking performance or gameplay itself? I mean, yeah, you can jump to a 4070. It will be a big jump over the 2060, without a doubt. More VRAM, more power when it comes to ray tracing stuff. And then the Indiana Jones loves new hardware. Will your 4060 laptop perform much lesser than yours desktop version? Actually, the 40 series, the 4060 especially, is the closest when it comes to performance in laptops to the desktop that ever before, so it should be a few frames behind, but not a huge difference. I was pretty surprised about the results. It was like 10 to 15% slower on the laptop version, which is not the norm. Oh, there we go. Okay, UI text size, let's keep it like this. Head bobbing, no thanks. Third person view, we're going to use a key for that. Head bobbing, no. Camera shake, no. No camera shake. Animated camera is fine. Crouch mode toggle, sprint toggle. Okay, hit flash mode, flinges only. Can I disable the damage numbers? Maybe later. Okay. Press any button. First up. Sorry, I need to disable the music. I've been burned too many times. Is 16 GB of RAM enough? Apparently yes, but we'll see. Damage numbers. I want to disable this. Too much clutter on screen. I've been seeing some gameplay. So graphics. Do we have actual full screen? No, we don't. It doesn't look like it. Nope. Oh well, that sucks. So like many UE5 games, this one doesn't have actual full screen. You only have borderless, so if you want to change the resolution, you need to go back to the desktop and change it there. So let's do that. Actually, I can do it with the windowed mode stuff, since it's a lower resolution. It sucks when they do that. I miss full screen. There it goes. Frame limit, no. FOV 90 degrees, no motion blur, no V-Sync, no ray tracing. Because we have a 1650. We have FSR, TSR, and off. I wish we had XeSS. So quality FSR 3. I'll try this sharpness. Let's start with the low preset. Let's see what happens. I think this should be fine. So let's restart the game just in case. Have you watched? No, I haven't. He recommends high settings with RT disabled. Gotcha. Thanks for the heads up. So ray tracing off is basically ray tracing with software lumen. Gotcha. Thanks for the heads up, by the way. Similar to Silent Hill 2, actually, when it comes to the settings then. You can force full screen with Alt-Enter. No, Alt-Enter does the same thing as when I swap to borderless full screen, unfortunately. Anyway, let's start with 1080p low. Low quality FSR 3. Alright. Good thing I can skip the intro with the spacebar. So settings, 1080p, FSR 3 quality, low settings, and let's see if it even works on this card properly. Likes to crash and shader step. Well, like many other UE5 games. I had an issue with Wukong, actually, on an Intel CPU. Okay, we have mushrooms in our face. That's weird. I mean, this is right straight out of the Last of Us. Makes me a bit uncomfortable, but that's okay. Let me see. Can I not have mushrooms in my face? Hang on. Godlike features. Oh, this is a godlike feature? Nah, I'm good. Facial hair, eyes, nose, brows, face shape. I want to be taller. I think I'm not able to be taller, actually. I don't know what these colors are supposed to be. Anyway, we put a huge scar in our face. The scars actually look pretty good. Eyeliner? No, I'm good. Yeah, that looks fine. Straight out of Horizon Zero Dawn. Or Forbidden West. Yeah, I don't know what's about those mushrooms in his face, but whatever. I'm going to be Arcane. Oh, hang on. Constitution. Sure, more health. Oh, okay, it did it on its own. That's alright. Let's continue. Game difficulty normal, voice, identifier, I don't care. Name. Alfred. Alfred. You need to replace it? Ah, okay. I'll keep it on default. It's not really important to me here because I'm just trying to see performance, so I need to get ahead. Arcane the show. Did I say it wrong? Okay. Oh, I can skip. Never mind. Oof. Okay. Shadows on low look pretty rough. Not sure if you guys can notice, but I can see every pixel of this shadow. I'll zoom in for you mobile users, which is most of the viewers. This is low shadows. Yeah, we have some room to spare, I think. Let's focus on medium settings. I think medium settings should do it. VRAM is already pretty high, so we're going to just skip the texture quality. Yeah, let's keep it on medium and see what happens. But definitely those shadows don't convince me on low. Low textures. So 1080p medium plus low textures and quality FSR3. Okay, this is, yeah, definitely better. At least now they tried to be filtered. I don't know where someone said Skyrim Killer. I wouldn't say it's I mean, it's kind of like a Bethesda game.
At least the journey's not complete.
When the camera cuts also, we have a lot of chunkiness to the pixels. It's a bit distracting, but I'm just skipping things. But we'll see. I mean, it does feel kind of like a Bethesda game because we're first person. Let me see if there's a third person toggle. TYUIO HGJ oh. ZX. He follows my every move. We just keep the text, his face looks pixelated. Yeah, it's the hair actually. He has lots and lots of hair. So that on the upscaler is kind of a nightmare for the upscaler actually. If you look at the hair on his face, this stuff is very difficult to resolve for the upscalers. And if I move the camera, it has a very chunky look to it. But that's hair. Hair in video games is hard to upscale. I'll put the upscaler on TSR at 67%. Should be the same as FSR quality when it comes to resolution. Okay, when moving the camera, it's less obvious now on his face. So good. I think that's actually better. FSR 3 is way too chunky. Quality TSR 67%. Anyway, Yuki, gotcha. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, definitely the animation, the third person animation looks off. I feel like I'm playing Fallout 3. Especially with these jumps. Okay, so a UE5 Bethesda game. Yeah, seeing those third person animations, I'd rather play in first person, personal preference. Hey Irvin, how's it going? Has anyone here actually managed to get an RTX 5000 GPU? In my country they're reselling them. Okay. Do I have a sword? No, nothing.
Take that dagger.
Ah, the dagger. The dagger was on the other corner. My bad. Rough weapon. Yeah, I'm sorry. When I'm streaming games, I become stupid. More stupid than usual. It's like I'm trying to show the game, talk, read chat at the same time. I just become... My IQ is like 100 times smaller when I'm streaming. I understand why big streamers sometimes are absolute morons. It's because they are multitasking. Your brain cannot take multitasking very well. So yeah, my IQ is reduced when I'm streaming. I'm sorry, guys. So I heard that there is a city coming after this. There was a starter there. So the city is probably going to be more demanding. That's why I'm not changing more settings now. Medium seems to be good with 67% resolution. But actually the environments look pretty cool so far.
Come on, the fort's up ahead. Tripwire. Watch yourself. There's no healer about.
Does this cast shadows? Yes, it does.
Watch out.
I'm going to trigger every trap. The city is a place to test the game. Doesn't have many NPCs, but still perform bad on your Ryzen 5600X. Gotcha. $6,000 Australian dollars for 5090 in Australia. Well, here the 5080 is $2,000. Okay. Oh, of course, I got poisoned. I wish the environments, at least on this first part, were more breakable. Like, the game has to tell me if something can be... Yeah. Pillars of Eternity. Oh yeah! True, the lore behind this game is Pillars of Eternity. I keep forgetting that this was made by...
Hope it helped their souls find
by those people. So if you ever play Pillars of Eternity, well, this is related to that.
Is it you?
Okay, now we're getting drops into the 30s, so that's good news. That means that we're actually getting ahead when it comes to the benchmark.
Is this what they were like? Put its guard up. Hit it with everything.
I'm playing on normal difficulty, by the way. I'm not in a graphics snob, but the combat looks really modern, MMO worthy. Does it feel good? Yeah, I mean, it feels okay. I'm like, what, 10 minutes in? I mean, yeah, you got your heavy attack, your block. Doesn't feel bad. What I do notice is that the momentum of the animation, when you're hitting an enemy, it doesn't feel like you're doing a big impact. But I understand first-person animation is hard to do, like, make it have weight into the enemies. But it feels good. So far, again, super first impression. And I did a backflip. The LAA looks good on this one. Awesome. Please don't tell me I gotta start from the beginning. Yeah, the momentum, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. It feels like the momentum is off. If you look at it in third person, it doesn't help the game.
It's put its guard up. Hit it with everything you've got.
So yeah. In third person, honestly, I don't like how it looks in third person. I think you're better off watching the first person. I'm a freaking idiot. I wish I had a different weapon though. I think it was a bad idea to choose magic. Hey, M Shop. How's it going? By the way, I also disabled damage numbers because usually they are... Oh man. I suck. Give me a moment. I want to see if I can parry, at least. The dagger freaking sucks. Hey, the Riven Kilbert, man. It's been a while. You can use DLSS 4 on your 3060. Visual quality is damn good. Well, also the performance is lower. But yeah, usually the visual... From a visual standpoint, is worth it. Let me check if I missed something when it comes to keybinds. Interact. Yeah, ledger. Row. Well, and a good upgrade from 3060. From 3060, I mean, what resolution are we talking about?
Hit it with everything you've got.
Oh yeah, the stamina. Okay, I had this same issue, it's just me, on Skyrim. I forget I have a stamina bar. Okay, I got you. I can eat 5 rolls of cheese and I'll be fine. Vermintide from 10 years ago had much better melee combat. Well, Vermintide, and especially Vermintide 2, are very well known for the first-person combat, definitely. The animations of those games, you feel like a freaking tank on those games. Yeah, it's a visual spectacle when it comes to melee first-person animation. The combat does not look good in video, but you enjoyed playing it. I mean, it's pretty responsive when it comes to combat. And now this enemy, I don't think it's supposed to be. There we go. Thanks for getting down and fight me. Yeah, visually the combat doesn't look good, but it works. I think it's okay. I want to try different weapons, so this is as basic as it gets when it comes to weapons. It's just a dagger and a shield. Although I gotta say, textures on low don't look so bad, like in other UE5 games. Although the pop in for the foliage and the shadows is pretty aggressive.
If we can get it down, that is.
As long as you don't go for low settings, you should be fine. The game does not have HDR. Ah, that sucks, man. I think this will be ideal for HDR.
Is someone there? Over here! About time. Oh gods! What's the matter with your face? Stay
Easy.
you me now. Never see.
Will you shut up or should I make you? There we go.
That's the
Perfect
Imperial
response.
envoy you're talking to. Show.
The Imperial. Funny.
Okay. We had to get up this island. Could the soldiers have had the soul plague? The Emperor? I don't know what I'm doing here, sorry. Yep. I'm not letting her out. Yeah. She's basically staying. Bye-bye. Because combat doesn't have to look good. Yeah, doesn't have to look good to be great. I agree with that. That applies to older games. Sometimes you look at the combat in a video and it doesn't really show you exactly what it looks like. It's not a great representation. When the combat is flashy, it adds to the gameplay, in my opinion. Adds when it comes to enjoying the game as well. But I don't think it's the main thing. But I mean, the combat is responsive. That's what I'm trying to say. Although the arrows, they have physics. Oh yeah, they do. Using the bow doesn't feel super strong when it comes to animations either. But it works. But again, guys, I'm less than half an hour into the game, so who knows? Things might change. Okay, we do have screen space reflections. Very pixelated, but still. Yeah, this is UE5, definitely. I mean, you can smell and taste the UE5 visuals, which is fine. You can, although in the environments, I think they did a pretty good job so far. The environments look pretty damn good. I wish there was more destructible props. That's something that I'm noticing, that the props... Oh, sword, hang on. Finally. Okay. Your latency sensitive.
Careful. Stay in the tall grass.
Okay, the grass.
Not spotted us yet.
Obsidian is using the same technology for grass like in the Outer Worlds. Yeah, I've seen this grass before, although it doesn't kill the performance like in previous games. Halo.
Like mine. Did your god give you that power too? More coming.
You did use AFMF2 with 70 to 80 FPS as a base, or 70 to 80 FPS after you enabled AFMF2? Usually I feel like if your base is 40 something FPS... Oh, and we have screen space shadows for the leaves over here.
Aim and strike.
Oh. I'm in the murder grass, he cannot see me. I imagine my character with full sword and shield crouching here and it's invisible. He cannot be seen. That's hilarious. Okay. I'm getting the hang of the combat now. If FPS would drop to 100 with AFMF2, you'll definitely notice slowdown. I mean, yeah, because when you're at 100 FPS with frame gen, it's actually 50, so that's usually okay as a base, I'd say. I always notice the input lag with frame gen, but if the base frame rate is 40 something or a bit higher, it's not that bad. First ability, charge, Tanglefoot, minor missiles. DD's option. Okay. That was disappointing.
Hope you do better with that, Grim. Hope there's a fire spell in there.
Okay, wand.
Work at the bramble.
I'm a wizard at the end of the day. Oh, my bad.
Brambles would light up if we had anything to burn them with.
Both games are good. Skyrim is at another level. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel it's a fair comparison. Doesn't feel the same as Skyrim. Visually, when you look at the animations, at the third person animation and first person animation, it does look like Skyrim with a different color palette and graphics. But so far, it does feel different. It looks like it, but I wouldn't say it's like Skyrim. Also didn't have the same budget as Skyrim. Well, yeah, and Skyrim came out how many years ago at this point? How many times has Skyrim been re-released? Okay, the developer said it's not Skyrim. Who said it was Skyrim? Was it like a game journalist? Because if you say that a game is like Skyrim, or a competitor to Skyrim, well, it's a very tall order for the game. Because let's be honest, Skyrim is one of the best games of all time. In my opinion, at least. And my companion character is absolutely useless. Should go back to swords, I think. You try medium textures? No, I haven't, because we haven't reached the city yet. Oh, that's an enemy. My bad. By the way, music is disabled just to protect from copyright. Okay, yeah, I do see what you guys were talking about software ray tracing. It's mixed with screen space reflections. But so far what I like the most when it comes to visuals is the environments. They look pretty damn good. Oof, underwater though, it looks very pixelated. Look at this. Ew. I'll zoom in so you guys. This is what I see underwater, this is what I see outside of the water. Definitely the upscaler is not helping. Is lumen always on? Apparently yes.
I tried to tell them. Why wouldn't they listen? I'm no ex.
Dexter, did you pick the lock on your cell? Clever. Yeah, whatever.
Now you've done it.
Oh. Let me grab the sword. Sorry about that. I have a water bottle. Let's just say that I kicked it very hard. Boinks. Those NPCs look terrible. I agree. The NPCs don't look good, in my opinion. For the first impressions, I didn't understand the thing about mushrooms in the face, but that's, I guess, just a personal preference. Combat feels great in this game, but watching it in a live stream it looks clunky. I mean, it looks clunky, but it responds pretty damn well so far when it comes to combat. But visually, the combat doesn't look great at all.
Go on without me.
Yeah, 5 wheels of cheese to go. Why am I stuck? The friendly NPCs are useless. Or at least this one in particular. Godlike touch. Face looks ugly. Who's godlike? Oh, you mean my character? I mean, yeah. I just put some scars and war paint in his face and He should be good. What I'm happy about though, if you compare this to Skyrim, is that in Skyrim the UI is very rough when it comes to navigating the UI. That's something that always bothered me. I always use mods. There it goes. Oh, she sucks. Okay. Easy.
Probably some noble who bought his commission.
No wait at all on those sword strikes. Exactly. That's my issue with the combat. Visually, it doesn't feel impactful in any way. It's like my sword was a chopstick.
We felt your
I heard a voice.
I've been round Archer. Shorty. That woman mentioned a boat. Has to be round.
But so far, if you see, as I said, I like the environments from what I've seen. What I do not like is the lack of interactability with the smaller items. The game does tell you what you can break. Like here, this icon tells you, okay, you can break this. But there was a lot of pots that I saw before in the game that I couldn't break. I know, first world problems, but I don't know, just vandalism in video games. It's something I did a lot in Silent Hill 2 as well. In Silent Hill 2 I broke every car window. For no reason, it just feels good.
There.
Okay. I wish we hadn't attacked this, yeah, whatever. It's neither a curse nor illness, the first step is to identify the cause. Yeah. Philosophy. Some NPCs look like that. If you touch them, you'll die of poison. Man. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the mushrooms in the face. I don't get it.
Paradise.
Okay, there we go, the city. So here's when the testing actually begins. As you can see, this runs much worse than the part we were at a moment ago. The reflections are very pixelated. But again, we're on medium settings with upscaling on 1080p. Let's check very quickly if this is related to upscaling. Okay, a little bit. The upscaling does help, but again, it's a very aggressive way to do it. But we're still dropping frames, so reflections on low, does it remove them completely? Okay, actually it does a better job. I think lumen is actually disabled with low reflections. Let me see if there's something in the water with medium. Oh, okay, I got you. I think lumen reflections are disabled on low reflections. As you can see now, I have a mix of screen space with this dithering stuff. If I put the reflections on low, we only have screen space stuff, which has been the norm for a few years since the PlayStation 4, maybe PS3 in some higher end games. So my first advice, if you're playing on medium, if you're not playing on high settings, reflections you can put them on low. You just get screen space. Low looks better in this case. What I wouldn't lower is the shadows. Shadows on low looks horrible. It's like pixel art levels of shadow quality. Doesn't have any filter into them. So we're not touching shadows, we are touching shading, effects, and post-processing. Oh, hang on. Shading effects and global illumination. Global illumination, I mean, if you played Wukong, another UE5 game. Alright. Yeah, I'd take a cube map any day over a grainy mess. I agree completely. But hold up. Before we continue ahead, let's compare TSR with FSR. I'm going to do a quick experiment. Hopefully the stream doesn't crash. What I'm going to do is record very quickly a video of what I'm seeing right now. And once I do so, we're going to do a side-by-side. Because when you're looking at upscaling, you definitely want to be in motion. Let me see if we can actually do this. We hope. This is a difficult part of the stream. Okay, it doesn't allow me to do multi-window. Hold up. Give me a few seconds of black screen. I won't take long. Apologies about this. It's been a while since I did this. Okay, got 8 seconds of footage. I paused the game. And I changed to FSR 3 quality. One sec, we're almost there. Film grain is like TAA, I guess. No, film grain is film grain, like you see in older movies. TAA is basically just smudgy. Alright, so I open video. I cut. Okay. Hopefully, again, this doesn't crash the stream. So we do a side by side. I usually do ray tracing on versus off, but in this case, this is FSR versus TSR. I don't know which one is which, actually. I didn't check. So again, as I said before, you should compare in video. Okay. Stuff into the distance and the character moving. I think the one at the right is actually... Yeah, the one at the right is TSR. So it's the other way around, my bad. Oops! This is FSR. And this is TSR. Although in motion, FSR looks very blocky on the characters. At least when it comes to hair. So yeah, what do you guys think? TSR or FSR? Again, here I'm standing still, so it's not a great way to show it off. And I'm zooming in a lot, by the way. I'm just going directly to these cables because they are the most obvious difference. Again, we're using quality. Yeah, I mean, look at how chunky FSR is when there's a character moving. Yeah. I think I'll take FSR anyway, you know? TSR. TSR is blurry. TSR was the only one getting 36. Yeah, one more frame. Well, at the end of the day, it's only one frame. I think I'll keep FSR for now. FSR looks still pretty chunky in motion, especially, but TSR just by itself flickers a lot more when standing still. One is blurry, the other one is ghostly. Exactly. I agree. So far the settings, first impressions, outside 1080p, FSR 3 or TSR quality, medium view distance, medium shadows, low shadows look horrible. So super, they don't have any filter into them. Low textures, low shading, low effects, medium foliage, medium post-processing, low reflections, so we disable the lumen reflections and we have screen space on big bodies of water, and global illumination in UE5 games is pretty demanding, so we're keeping it on low. So I'll call this low-mid settings. And again, I still think the environments look impressive. Yeah, the issue with FSR is definitely when you're in motion. Also, we're getting some stutters.
And I put a bullet in your leg. Hey, turn around and sail back.
But the
to wherever
NPCs
you came from.
don't convince
This
me.
dock is reserved for the and he's late.
Yeah, I'm seeing when we have a camera card in FSR, it pixelates itself horribly bad. Let's disable the sharpness completely. What's new, CJ? Want to try saying that in a way that doesn't piss off the Imperial Envoy? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Also, I'm just spamming skip to advance in the story, obviously.
Come on, let's get you some fresh air.
But sometimes I think I'm not sure if what I'm saying really matters at all.
Brunin left these beacons all over the island. They're good for finding your way.
Oof. Yeah, good thing it didn't increase the texture quality. Oof, it's very rough. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Well, you're in for a good time. Definitely. Yeah, I mean the NPCs. Very meh. Very meh. This NPC doesn't. The clothes are clipping in the neck. And they're supposed to be the guards, so it shouldn't. There's nobody walking around either, they're just standing there. It's a museum. But also the performance is getting pretty low. Let's try. Let's see if TSR fixes the problem. Oh, we're still there. Yeah, as soon as I start moving throughout the city, it drops pretty hard. View distance, maybe. Okay, I can see a bit more pop in. Yeah, it's quality FSR at the end of the day on a 1650. Let's try this again. Yeah, no. I think we should go lower with the resolution, actually. These options didn't seem to make much of a difference. So we're going to drop the resolution further. Let's do performance upscaling. Lower that even more. Yeah, I'm lowering that resolution. The settings didn't seem to matter much. I just want to see if the resolution... Yeah, despite me dropping the resolution aggressively, doesn't seem to matter. Again, the shadows, I'm not lowering them because on low, I think the shadows are unusable on low. Dude, what's up with those frame times? Again, it's not like the city has life or something. Okay. RPG games are always very CPU heavy. Yeah, but why? Okay, there's one person walking at a low frame rate. Yeah, you just walk to stand there looking at a rock. I don't know. I don't get why this would be CPU intensive. Yeah, I mean, at least on Skyrim, the NPCs walked around. I wasn't expecting him to look at me. Yeah, RoboCop Rogue City. It's a well-made UE5 game, definitely. And it came out, what, like 2 years ago?
Build another palisade just like the last. When this one
I'm not convinced. Let's do something different. Let's do 900p instead. With quality FSR3. So I gotta... And I'm going to close the game just in case. But so far, the world feels dead. I don't get why the CPU usage has to be so high. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I know this might be unfair, but in Baldur's Gate 3, yeah, I know, it's a little bit of a stretch. In Baldur's Gate 3, it uses a lot of CPU, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the city. So at least in that game, it does make sense. And we're looking down. On this one, I just saw one NPC walking around at 15 FPS. The animation at 15 FPS. So 900p, quality FSR3. Immortals of Avium still probably the worst UE5 game. I would say so, yeah. They just didn't even bother to tweak the lighting, the baked lighting. It's all dynamic. So without Lumen, that game doesn't have light, basically. So you couldn't turn it off. Okay, it's loading textures. Also, by the way, we are VRAM limited. That's maybe why when I'm running, the frame time does this. But again, where is everyone?
So, how long do you think it'll be before the locals realize how much good we're doing for them?
realize they're never gonna
No fire damage.
Anything of the sort will always be the invaders to them.
No, I don't think so. It's only been a few years. They'll come around eventually. I'm sure
Really?
of it. They have to.
I even cannot be a bad guy if I wanted to.
I honestly don't care what the locals think. Last time they joined the civilized world.
Yeah, fire.gif. Yeah, I'm heavily dropping frames here. Here, when I'm standing here. I'm pretty sure this is VRAM limitation actually. When it hard locks to 20 like that and then it goes back up, it's usually that we are heavily VRAM limited. How much good we're doing for them. Oops. Yeah, they're sitting there doing nothing. So, okay, I think it's time to swap to the 3060. I think I've seen enough of the 1650 in this game. If you have a 1650, expect the game to work with stutters, hard locks to 20s when you are basically moving around in certain sections, and not good image quality. Personally, I wouldn't play it with 4 GB of VRAM. We're clearly below the VRAM target. And if you put everything on low, I would say at least increase those shadows to medium. Otherwise, shadows at very close distance and super hard edges and pixelated. So I don't think low shadows is worth using, even if you had to.
You're mine now.
So yeah. I mean, the stuttering with 4 GB of VRAM.
To your left. Give me a target. Aim where?
Yeah, stutter engine 5. But again, we're on 4 GB of VRAM. So we're going to see if it's VRAM related as soon as I put the 3060 that has 12 GB. Again, if you have a 1650, low settings, medium shadows, 1080p or 900p with quality FSR, and that should do it, but you have stutters when moving around, and well, you'll hard lock to 20s at times, which seems to be VRAM limitation. By the way, I did change the webcam pointing to the PC, so I hope the image quality is better now. Well, we'll see. We have a 4060 as well, so we should be good. Also, can you lower the resolution to see if we are CPU or VRAM limited? By lowering the resolution, I won't be able to notice that on this card. But if the stutters are not gone when I'm using the 3060 that has 12 gigabytes, then it's probably a CPU thing. Or maybe just the game loading assets, who knows at this point. You don't use screws? I mean, there is a screw at the bottom here. That screw holds the GPU in this spot. So we're good. I've been doing that for a while. Okay, 3060, 1080p, high DLAA. So I'm going to go for high first on 1080p. Just to give the game a chance when it comes to, okay, high settings should be good, right? Avowed. I'm going to pin it to my taskbar. How many GPU swap cycles does the motherboard go for? I saw online that they have pretty low numbers, official ones. I mean, usually I change the motherboard every 2 years. And I've been seeing actually a video from Hardware Unboxed that they were like some stupid number of swaps, more than 1,000. They do a lot of benchmarks. And I think it was after like 2,000 and something swaps that they started seeing issues. But the issue wasn't like performance degradation. The issues were like, okay, half of your screen is green. Something like that. So yeah, it's on Game Pass. So guys, if you have Game Pass, PC Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate, you should be able to access the game right now. Thanks again to Xbox for providing PC Game Pass. I have Game Pass Ultimate, but I just pay for the Ultimate part of it. But if you have it only on PC, that is pretty cheap. I think it is $9.99. It's actually included. It's 75 gigs. And in the Xbox app, you should be able to download it and play it right away. Half the screen is green if it's NVIDIA, but if you use AMD, it will be half red. Exactly. Oh, the official ones were under 100. I mean, we're going to notice if that happens. So yeah, so far I didn't have any problems. And I did more GPU swaps when I was just getting started with multiple GPUs. Because I was like, how many? Yeah, I had like 6 cards in the past, and I didn't talk in the videos or anything. I started talking in the videos way later. And there I did like 5 swaps per day. It was like some crazy number. You're going to buy Game Pass in April, May to play Stalker and Doom and Indiana Jones. Well, if you're interested in this game, for some reason, you can play it as well. So far, the city didn't impress me at all. The city actually makes me concerned about the game, which is pretty funny. Does NVIDIA latest driver have any issue for you? No. So far, no issues for me. Okay. Yeah, we're on 1080p. Good. When it comes to DLSS, oh, there's no DLAA. Maybe an anti-aliasing. So I'm seeing that in the upscaling options we have TSR, FSR, and DLSS3, but I don't see DLAA. Am I missing something? Please, DLAA is the best feature of DLSS. What's the name of the side-by-side app? It's called iCat. iCat, like a cat made by Apple computers, basically. iCat. It's from NVIDIA, actually. DLAA is not here. Ugh, that sucks. Okay. Let's keep it on DLSS quality at 1080p high, and let's see if there's any stuttering or CPU stuff bothering us. So high settings, ray tracing is disabled, but this is hardware lumen versus software lumen. We're going to try it in a bit, but let's see. This game didn't get great reviews. I don't know. I just seen tons of people talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, it releases today. Okay. Some things I don't think loaded properly. This is really what the high setting looks like. No, I have to be doing something wrong. Hold up. There we go. It wasn't the high setting. There we go. Yeah, it couldn't have been. Okay. VRAM usage, we're already at 5 gigabytes basically. Let's see the spot that drops us to 20 FPS on the 1650. I'm trying without upscaling. We're doing that in a moment, but give me a sec. I want to check this very specific spot that drop frames on the 1650. If I stand right here, yeah, I dropped like 20 FPS in this spot. But as soon as I move forward, boom, it goes back into the 60s. So maybe a bug, maybe something to do with the light sources. But again, we're now on high settings. On the NPCs, I can see them popping up. So geometry looks okay from a distance, but NPCs, I can see them disappearing, which understandable, but still, this is high settings. Look at the middle of the screen. Boop. That's pretty funny. GPU usage in that spot, good point. I forgot about that. No, GPU usage is still basically over 97%. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, the town drops frames like crazy. But again, I don't get why, because it's not like there is a lot going on in the town. It's like, okay, the town looks nice, yeah, whatever. Yeah, now we're getting actually CPU limitation. Yeah, the GPU usage drops here when I'm running. But again, it's just NPCs standing around or doing just one activity. So they're not smart, they're just standing there. I cannot even hit them. She's looking at me now, good. But again, it's not like the NPCs are doing anything particularly special. They're just standing there. It feels like a dead town. So why does this drop frames? Why my CPU is working so hard? Wait, is there a CPU to be busy even? Good point. I don't know. I just see that the GPU usage drops when I'm there. The lady sweeping a dirt road. Yeah, she'll get there eventually. Such an inspirational story. So if this is with upscaling, if I disable upscaling, it's going to be a... It's not going to be nice. No, it's actually... Oh, yeah, there's ghosting. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is without upscaling. But if I enable DLSS, what happens to that? To that edge? Okay. Not as obvious. Let's try TSR 100%. Okay, TSR 100% works similar to DLSS when it comes to that. So instead of the 60s, we're in the mid-40s at 100% resolution. Too bad there's no DLAA, that's a missed opportunity. TSR 100%. We'll do test Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I want to do it. I did it on the Steam Deck, it runs pretty well. So let's do those adjustments. So we're at 49 FPS on high. Let's lower the shadows to medium. Textures, let's put them on epic. Shading, this one should be hard on the GPU. Effects as well. Foliage should be okay. Post-processing. Reflections, I'll keep them on high. On medium they look bad. We tried this on the 1650. And global illumination on medium. So we jump from 49 to 52. 54. Oh, no mind. 50. So this is native res. I don't think native res is absolutely necessary. If you look at the middle of the screen, oops. When you see the water flickering over there. Again, it's pretty far away. I'm nitpicking at the end of the day. With DLSS, what do we get? Yeah, now it's a little bit softer, but it's still not great at a distance. Yeah, I think you should just use DLSS on this one for 60s. Like put it on high settings. With epic textures, and that's probably good enough to just keep it like this. Yeah, it's DLSS 3, but I don't see frame gen. So I would say 1080p high, DLSS quality. Whoa. DLSS quality and epic textures. And that should do. UE5 is DLSS engine. Yep. Definitely. I mean, without DLSS, we wouldn't be able... Oh, I have a gun. GG. My secondary cannot be a bow. Makes sense. I wish I could do gun and sword. Let's do gun. It does have frame gen for 40 series cards. Oh, okay. So it's one of those games. I have magic and I can use guns at the same time. It's fine, they don't see me. I can get them. The real Skyrim with guns. Okay, at least this friendly NPC is useful. He actually is attacking enemies. But the gun is no fun. The Nerf gun. Hey, Ilyas Alawani. How's it going? Dead. Kinda reminds you of New World. Yeah, I can see the resemblance. Oh, really? That is transformer model. Sure. One sec. I wanted to try 1440p, but since I have to change the desktop resolution, we can actually try the transformer model. But DLSS, at least out of the box, the game looks okay. And when it comes to VRAM, I was expecting way higher VRAM usage than this. Yeah, the Far Cry feel with the bow and arrow. Oh, okay, never mind. It was just UI. I was unknown with the UI. I got you. So sword, wand. Although the wand is a little bit meh. At least when it comes to damage. So anyway, CPU or GPU bound. It becomes CPU bound when I'm in a town. A very simple town. So if there's a bigger town coming, I don't even want to know the CPU usage. Do you guys know if there's any other town that I can visit? Is this like a big city or something? Okay, not sure. Yeah, there should be a big city here.
Wilds are getting deadlier by the day.
I cannot really mark anything.
Hey, but people have to eat.
Okay, there is a big city. Gotcha. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's see if we can hold 60s without RT on 1080p. Really? The range in this wand.
One for you! Give me a target. Where's my mark? Hey! Over here!
I think I can get there the other way around.
Pargrunen built these ones and much
I think we gotta start testing the CPUs now with these UE5 games. Ugh! No, please. I did that before. I used to have a G35. G4560. Oof, that was hard. That was super cheap. And I also had an i5 at the time. And I tested both. But it took forever to do testing on those. Because I had to swap stuff in and out, delete drivers multiple times. It was very tedious. Equip the book with the wand so you can use more spells. I will. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, I mean, the NPCs so far are pretty disappointing.
Hope
Oh.
you don't mind spiders. Oh no, you don't.
Don't mind me. DLSS 3 or 4. This is DLSS 3, but I'm going to enable the transformer model in a moment. I want to check out very quickly ray tracing, but I want to be in the city for that because more detail.
Better on our feet than in the ground.
Okay, of course it's locked. But I can already see the frame times getting worse.
Sorry, Envoy. The city's under lockdown.
The city is under lockdown. I was pretty sure that there was going to be a
Doesn't
limitation.
matter that you have family here. No one's getting in without special permission.
But my wife, my daughter, they're both in there.
So you said, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do for you.
Yeah, the frame times get way worse when I get to the city. Look. Yeah, the GPU usage is dropped to 80%.
Unless you're keen on forging a path further inland, best I can suggest is that you find work in the shanty.
Nice banner, ain't it? I found it on the beach, covered in bird shit.
So if the basic town already had
Parts unknown.
bad frame times and lower GPU usage, once I get in this town, it's going to be bad. Yeah. The CPU is starting to cry. Let me see, let's enable ray tracing super quickly. Let me get to a place with reflections. Also, I need to heal. I'll eat 5 wheels of cheese. Thank you very much. There it goes.
You're finally here. Where's the rest of your unit?
Alright, so the biggest difference with RT on and off is that Lumen becomes hardware Lumen instead of software.
It was the journey, ma'am.
5 wheels? What?
What kind of hero gets seen?
Anyway,
Apparently.
so 76 FPS with RT quote unquote off, that is software Lumen. And 77, my bad. 77, ray tracing on. Oh, I have to restart. Ugh. Okay, let me save right here. So RT off, 76, 77. I apply the changes, I close the game, and I relaunch. Yeah, 5 wheels of cheese, exactly. If you ever played Skyrim, when you were out of potions, you eat like 5 wheels of cheese and you're fine. Yeah, I mean, it does look like a Bethesda game, but it doesn't play exactly like it. I mean, if you have Game Pass and you don't mind downloading 75 gigs, I just feel like the town is completely dead. The NPCs are just standing there. I don't know if that changes later on, but still. Give you full damage, but no damage on fire. Good point. Haven't thought about it. Okay, let's see RT on. So this is hardware lumen now. We were at 77 FPS in the spot that I stood. .77 FPS versus, drum roll please, 80, 79. What? How does it run better? Did it even enable RT? Yeah, it's enabled. I'm confused. Maybe a bug. Apply, enable, okay, apply. Yeah, the other worlds, I mean, you can clearly notice that they worked on the other worlds just by looking at the foliage and the stealth system. It looks very, very similar. But that's fine, I don't mind that. New Vegas remake would be insane hype though. Yeah, I mean, if they've rebuilt it in a better looking engine and they keep it, well, they improve the gunplay a little bit as well, it should be a banger. Shouldn't be hard to do, right? It just will take a while. Yeah, the obsidian that made New Vegas is long gone. Yeah, it's like the dice that made Battlefield 2 and 3 and 4. I mean, it's normal. That happens when a lot of years pass. Yeah, I think the RT option is not working for me. Do I need to put it on Epic for ray tracing to apply? I'm not really noticing any real change. Yeah, the 3050 unfortunately died in a freak accident. And well, repairing it was more expensive than buying a new one.
Get a hold of yourself. There's nothing down there.
And here I am. But despite having RT on, I'm pretty sure it's not on. Because performance is almost the same. Although I see more stutters, but at this point I don't know if it's a bug or not. Go to a dark spot and check if RT changes the lighting. Well, maybe the... I understand what you're saying. Maybe the indirect lighting. Can I see myself in the reflection? Okay, so I'm sorry guys, I'm doing this as quickly as I can. I'm not sure if the RT option is bugged for me. So instead of 77, if I restart the game, what happens? You saw a video comparing. RT doesn't change reflections, they look the same, but it does make the GI better. Gotcha. I mean, performance wasn't super different so far. Come on, game. Close so I can launch it again. I mean, it runs okay. As long as you have enough VRAM. The thing is, when you get to a town, the CPU starts crying, but other than that, seems to be okay. I wish it had DLAA. Anyway. Let's try this again. I'm here going by visual aid. Yeah, I mean, it looked darker with RT on, actually. And there were more stutters. Yeah, and definitely runs better. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... if it doesn't affect the reflections and only the global illumination, I wouldn't enable it. Having DLSS but no DLAA in 2025 is crazy work. I agree. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah. At least first impressions, RT, keep it off. By itself already looks good enough. Let's try 1440p now. For 1440p though, I had to restart the game again. Because it uses your desktop resolution as a base. So 1440p. Yeah, 144. Oh, and we're changing the DLSS to DLSS 4. Jesus Christ. Apologies. Alright, so to change to DLSS 4, we open the NVIDIA app, which should be bundled in with your drivers. Yeah. I already have the latest one. No NVIDIA overlay, thank you very much. Okay. Why do I have GTA 4 here, but not... whatever. Let's get into the games folder. About content. Yeah, and the game is codenamed Alabama for some reason. You don't have permission. Maybe it's in binaries. There we go. Of course I don't have permission. Security. Let's call this... oh, okay, it doesn't allow me to do that. Yeah, GTA 4 is probably because I use Vice City. Let me run the video app as administrator and try again. So annoying. About content, Alabama, binaries. No, it's not content. Yeah, I need permissions. What a pain in the ass. Yeah. I hate this also with Xbox games. It's so stupid. I own this freaking computer! Okay. I'll fix it, don't worry. I got you. Of course access is denied. Replace. Access is denied. Okay, DLSS swapper it is. I'll use DLSS swapper instead. This is a third-party program, but you can do it with the NVIDIA one. So DLSS, let's do the latest one. Oh, there's FrameGen. Interesting. It's not going to work on this one though, on this card. Okay. Let's get back in. They went out of their way for people not to do that. Why? Actually, it's just a thing with Xbox games. The Xbox games from the Xbox app, they don't have permissions for the game files. I don't know why. It's been like that since the beginning. We're doing balanced DLSS 4 at 1440p. Yeah, this game should be installed on an SSD, definitely. So 1440p. And on the settings, we're just using DLSS balance. I know it says DLSS 3, but I changed the DLL file. So let's see how it goes. How do you like the game? I mean, so far, gameplay is fine. It's okay. My first impression is it's okay. Just don't expect Skyrim. But what bothers me is that the towns are basically dead. It's like the NPCs are just standing there.
Gods be with you, envoy. Good day. Gods be with you, envoy.
The environment looks great, in my opinion. But there's very few objects that can be destroyed. I cannot even do the classic, okay, let's hit everyone and they kill me and I'm a bad guy. So I don't know, it's like I don't exist in the game. It's like my character is in the ether floating. So I mean, the combat is okay. That's all I can say. Then the rest, I don't like the NPCs. I don't like that it feels like a dead world. And that it uses so much CPU in a place where NPCs just stand there. Reception is mixed. Not surprised. I guess if the game came out 15 years ago, it would be a game of the year. If it came out 15 years ago, we wouldn't be able to run it. But I understand your point. And let's put the book. There it goes. Oh. Yeah, the magic looks cool.
Another win. But who's counting?
But again, on the environments, they did a great job when it comes to visuals. I'm just not convinced with the NPCs and the and how they behave. Green screen looking fire effect. Yeah, the edges of the fire there were a bit weird, but I think it looks okay.
Odd. Didn't used to be this overgrown. I can take care of that if you want.
Yes, please.
Ready? Aim.
Open the gate.
I got a bad...
Okay, now that I have the book, thanks to whoever told me to put the book in my other hand, spells are way better.
Here we go.
And the bear didn't even care when I turned him on fire. That's pretty cool. Yeah, bears everywhere, actually. Yeah, good point. Going to this location, I fought like 5 bears already. Not sure if that's a coincidence. Spear. I'll take it.
Stand back.
Looks like we need DLSS FSR to run games nowadays. I mean, yeah. Definitely. It's unfortunate. More bears! Are you for real? Burn to a crisp. Does this game feel too much soft? It does look soft. With DLSS 4 though, I think it looks pretty good. When it comes to edges. FSR 3 though, when you move the camera, man, the foliage looks chunky. But with DLSS I think it looks good enough.
What happened?
Then with TSR, it's a bit similar, but I think it needs like more samples. It looks a bit grainy with TSR. Another bear! Yeah, this bear is from The Last of Us. Look at all those mushrooms. It's time to eat everything. Yeah, the frame time so far it's been an issue on a 4GB GPU, which again is below the minimum requirements, so it makes sense. And when you get to towns and you start running around, if the town is small, it also happens, so that's pretty disappointing. But again, it's not like the town feels alive. It feels very dead. Have you activated Transformer? Yeah. This is a Transformer model. I put it as DLSS 4, so it's more understandable, but maybe I need to update that text. Okay, he's pretty hefty to fight so far. Come on. Oh, I don't have enough essence. Okay. Sword it is. Newer games feel dead, older games look worse, some of them feel more alive. I mean, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you can get better graphics, but worse systems or less alive systems. Just look at, well, as an example, it's kind of unfair, but the Hitman games, they did very well with that sort of thing. Well, and if we are trying to compare games, Red Dead 2, GTA 5, those are some of the best open world games when it comes to world. So they don't have an excuse if I use those examples, but Max Payne. Oh, Max Payne is a linear game. Grab the damn potion. There it goes. I almost got him. But the combat feels good so far, guys. Not that I've been playing it more. The combat doesn't look flashy, but it works. It works pretty well. Yeah, I mean, nobody can usually match Rockstar games, so I also do not like using them as an example, but still.
Take that, you monstrosity!
I mean, Rockstar is just on another level.
What happened to that bear?
Yeah, it's not an open world. Oh well, good point. It's not an open world game, actually. It's like big sections. That's what they said. So I'm guessing there's more maps contained within
This wilderness
smaller
has been
maps.
a little... Well,
And again, I'm skipping everything because we're just trying to advance. We're not trying to review the game, only the performance, so no spoilers. Yeah, Rockstar gets all the money. Yeah. I'll help. Yeah, and Witcher 2. Although Witcher 2, yeah, the NPCs, there were more of them. But The Witcher 2 is not open world either. It has open sections, but it's not a big open world. But again, considering we're talking about Obsidian, they should be able to make NPCs walk around in a town. Come on. They are not new to game development. I saw their logo since I was a kid. Yeah. I'm 29 years old now.
can't be looking that big.
And when I was a kid, I was afraid of Fallout because I played Fallout 3. I saw what's the name of this enemy?
You are full of
The
surprise.
enemies that don't have skin.
I'd heard godlikes have strange powers,
Good.
but
I'm definitely lose 100 IQ points when I'm streaming. I cannot forget, I cannot remember anything. I can barely speak.
still, you have your work cut out for you.
The path to Paradise is a tad overgrown, but I can find my way back.
I mean, you should never trust million-dollar companies. Without a doubt. Anything can happen. Yeah, I know. You're 19. When you saw big cockroaches in Fallout 4, you were scared. That's funny. When I played Fallout 4, was when I kind of started doing YouTube, actually, like 11 years ago. The ghouls scared me in Fallout 3. So Fallout New Vegas was a no-no. I then played it when I was older, but it already existed when I was playing Fallout 3. The feral ghouls, especially.
Who's ready for more?
You're 22 and you're scared of literally everything in Subnautica. Makes sense. Another bear! Yeah, the best game for CD Projekt Red is Witcher 3. Yeah, without a doubt. Legendary game. Hogwarts Legacy? Well, Hogwarts Legacy actually is a good point. Open world, you can fly very quickly through the world. It has loading screens if your storage is slow when it comes to entering and exiting Hogwarts. Sometimes I had a mini loading screen at the door that didn't interrupt gameplay. But now we get to the long-awaited city. As I get closer to the city, the frame time gets more spiky. So the CPU starts crying more and more as I approach. Please, Santiago, no city. Why are you doing this? Please don't do this. Yeah, I mean, you can already see it right away. There's no reason for this to run like that. They're still standing here. They didn't even move one step to the right. This is an i5 13500. Okay, the city is now open. A good place to save. By the way, one thing that I saw is that when people enable ray tracing, apart from being global illumination, the CPU usage increases significantly. Sorry about the spoilers, it doesn't allow me to skip this. Still find it funny that an Obsidian game doesn't have NPC killing. That's the first thing that I tried. Not kidding. The fact that I cannot kill NPCs... What the hell, man? Is this an Obsidian game? Yeah, they take their work very serious. I cannot skip this. Okay, good.
You should not be here.
Tell me about it.
You should be free. Whole, the blood feeding.
I'm 23 and still scared by Fallout 3 on New Vegas. Never played them at night on the Steam Deck. NPCs in Obsidian's games, when you hit them. GG. By the way, we're going to be playing this on Steam Deck as well. Might take me one more day. Tomorrow we're actually... We're going to be looking at Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 on Steam Deck. It's now marked as playable instead of unsupported. So thank you guys for letting me know. But then the day after, we're probably playing this game on Steam Deck. Oof, those frame times. Again, ray tracing is disabled.
This may not be the prettiest part of town,
but the frame times in the city. So we're CPU limited, but we're not using 100% of the CPU. I have a lot of... It's probably the P cores that are suffering. Oh, thanks for the axe.
What are you doing? This is a crime scene. That's evidence.
That's the Imperial envoy. Stay out of his way.
Okay, they didn't care that I grabbed it. Where's Game Pass on Steam? I need it. Yeah, so the frame times in the city are not good. But it doesn't make it unplayable, in my opinion. It's just annoying. And again, it's not like I'm doing combat in this place.
Envoy, could I speak with you for a moment?
I mean, see, no combat here. I'm the main character. I can take whatever I want. Keep doing a good job, soldiers.
You died, but you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you?
I'll read those reports.
Wish that soul bones would hurry up. I gotta...
Sometimes we get more contraband coming through here than
Okay, so while I'm going to make a choice on the settings, let's see if they go anywhere. Let's just wait. So far, high settings seems to be okay. DLSS 4, just changing the NVIDIA app to accept DLSS 4. So we're using the transformer model. It looks fine, even in motion, which was my main issue with FSR3, this game. So I would do balanced DLSS when it comes to 1440p. 1080p quality should be good enough. If you go outside of DLSS, it doesn't look particularly great when it comes to the performance, first of all, and the edges look almost the same. So clearly a game that is meant around upscaling. Unfortunately, it's another one of those. So let me see if I lower a few things, if 1440p gets any better. Okay. A mix of medium and high. I think high is good enough. Ray tracing is off, but it's dead. I mean, that guy is walking. Good. Let's see what he does. Okay, he was going to clean, but changed his mind. So he's walking to meet those other two NPCs. Okay. The day of an NPC in Avowed. Oh my god, two NPCs walking at the same time. My CPU crying for help. Too much processing. Oh my god, two more NPCs are walking. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, also the walking needs more keyframes. Not sure if this is a bug with, well, a bug with the game or the animation being at a lower frame rate. Not sure if you guys can notice that, but he's walking in a pretty choppy manner. Oh, nice. Yeah, very, very complex AI. Oh, you know what I remember when I do this? Battlefront 2. In Battlefront 2, you were moving and the wind was moving the leaves. Well, in Ghost of Tsushima it also happens. Here we have the heaviest leaves in any universe. Not even my sword can move them. And there she goes again. Yeah, the broom... Well, I don't know where she stored that broom. That's for another video. So anyway, 1440p, I would say high or a mix of medium and high if you wanted to stay at 60 more consistently, 50 to 60, something like this. On 1080p, just play on high with quality DLSS. So now let's do 4K. We're doing, yeah, the 4060, but first let's do 4K on the 3060. Super quick. Won't take long. I mean, the combat, I like it. What I do not like so far is that the world is dead. The world is like, okay, I don't understand why they made this open world, quote unquote. It's not open world, but it kind of is. But I don't get it because I think they could just do a good game with decent combat and just keep the open stuff running around altogether. Because what's the point of having just NPCs standing there, sometimes with a broom like this, but doing nothing? The wallpaper is dope. Thanks. You can find the link for that in the description, actually. I found that wallpaper and I'm using it on everything, so I think you guys should use it too. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's not even sandbox. It's just they could have made a linear game with good combat and that was it. That's all we needed. So I'm confused. I don't know what they're doing. 4K DLSS performance. Again, we're using DLSS, the transformer model, the Optimus Prime. And it says DLSS 3, but again, we changed the DLL. And we're using something like this. Although textures, I could go... Oh, they're on Epic already. Okay, never mind. Yeah, semi-dead open world. Yeah. I mean, that's usually the problem when you get good technology, easy to access good technology. You can make big worlds, but they are basically empty. So what's the point? Although at 4K, even with upscaling, it looks damn good. Although the clouds don't look so good. Maybe this is an issue with DLSS. I don't know what's up with that. But then the rest is nice and sharp. The Megatron model, that's for next year. Also, the only pop-in that I'm noticing is for the foliage. Some of the foliage. Then like buildings popping up in front of me, I haven't seen. DLSS full performance plus transformer is like the old DLSS quality. It looks and performs almost as good as old performance. They say. They say is very powerful of not looking for sources. But that's okay. We're just here to test performance, so...
You're free to pass through the gate now.
But those third-person animations... Yeah, play first-person. I don't know, third-person takes me out of the world. The dead already world. Yeah, even the arm in third person clips through the shield. I don't know. I think that's a very obvious thing. I want third person at home. Yeah, I mean, clearly third person was an afterthought. Or was inspired by the older Fallout games. Well, Fallout 4 as well. Let's not pretend that Fallout 4 has great third-person animation. But this third-person feels like a mod someone would make for a first-person game. Someone modded third person is a first person mirror's edge. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. They did the same with Crysis 1.
What was that?
I can finally fight guards or something. These are not guards. But again, I think the combat is pretty good. It doesn't look good on camera. When you play it, I think it feels good. What they missed there was the animations. They don't feel impactful. You don't feel the inertia, especially using swords. Oops. Other than that, it feels good to play. I'm dead. Good. It would be better on third person. I mean, it would if the animation matched it. I mean, in the past, or in a Bethesda game, we can accept it because it's a Bethesda game. But this is a UE5 game that has ray tracing, so it doesn't match. I mean, if you look at the environments look amazing. But then you go to this thing and it runs like this, and it takes me out. The environments look good, but the NPCs and the animations for the main character, especially in third person, it just doesn't match. Playing Sorcery on VR, kinda. Let's go now for the 4060. On the 4060, we're definitely just going to the transformer model from the get-go. And let's put it on Epic, just to start. RT, honestly, I don't think is worth enabling. Yeah, animation is, well, I would say even more important than graphics. I mean, both are important, but animation, you notice it right away. If the game has RT, it doesn't even need good mechanics /S. Good one. Okay, seen some benchmarks, comparisons, it appears like that, but I haven't seen very many games. All I know is that some dislike DLSS changed their opinion. What? Oh, you mean the edges of the game? Or we're talking about something else? Yeah, I mean, Breath of the Wild is a great example of this. But I mean, I think it's already... If you look at older games with hardware limitations, they could still make good-looking games. So this will be 1080p Epic. DLSS off. RT off. The GPU of the pueblo. Yeah, I mean the artist. Exactly. Man, it must be so difficult to be a video game modeler and animator. If you do both things, you probably don't sleep. When is Reflex 2 coming to other RTX series? I have no idea. Is it? You still haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom? And man, these graphics are true art. Yeah, especially, I mean, once you get it to a solid 60 on emulators, rip Juzu, roasting pepperonis, I mean, it's just completely fine. You can notice that it's not super complex graphics, it's just good art. And sometimes good art is everything that you need. Otherwise, I don't know, Minecraft wouldn't be popular, I guess. Your favorite part was when they say, maybe the real Avowed was the friends we made along the way. Classic. The friends we made along the way. The first patch 1.2.2 was released today. Yeah, we're playing patch 1.2.2. It definitely did release today, that patch. I read the patch notes at the beginning, and I'm happy I waited for the standard edition to release because they got multiple patches in the early access period last Friday. How did Breath of the Wild influence game companies to prioritize worth aliveness and art more than graphics but performance? I mean, that takes work. I wouldn't say it didn't have an effect. It definitely did have an effect. But that's been a thing for a while. So I don't know. I think probably the executives are just out of touch with reality. That's per usual. Because, I mean, if you give the artist, I don't know, a month of work and tell them, okay, get it ready for next week, he's going to do a bad job, probably. I'm just not convinced with the art choices for for my own character that has like mushrooms on his face. Okay, shaders loaded. (1080p), TSR 100%, so we are on native. Epic settings, which is probably going to drop us below 60. So as in new games, as I always say, unfortunately DLSS is a necessary evil. But actually, in this case, it looks good when it comes to image quality, in my opinion, when you enable DLSS. Oh, okay. It actually does run a lot better than the 3060. Interesting. Let me double check if we're on the highest settings. I don't think we're on the highest settings. Same bug as before. Guys, make sure when you change settings or something, change the preset, apply, then change the preset again and apply. Otherwise, sometimes it doesn't put the highest settings. Something is off. I mean, that ground there should have more grass. It's so freaking weird. Okay, low definitely looks way worse, and we get 100 FPS. Or maybe Epic and High run almost the same. I highly doubt it, but hey. GT 710, no. Maybe one day, but that day isn't today. Yeah, and definitely the friendly NPCs are absolutely useless. Okay. Let's get to the forest. Epic and 6 GB of VRAM only, suspicious. I mean, the game, to be fair, wasn't using a lot of VRAM, like at all. It was using like 6 GB on the 3060. A huevo! So the game tells you, okay, at least 8 GB of VRAM, but it uses more like 5 or 6. So far I didn't notice a lot of VRAM usage. It's probably what you would get if you ask for an AI to make Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know, man. The Elder Scrolls 6 will probably have way more bugs. I don't know. But talking about that world, when it comes to NPCs, it also happens with the props. The game tells you when you can break an object. And these smaller objects, you cannot even interact with them. They're just like nailed to the ground. I don't know. I'm just not convinced. Also, isn't it funny that I don't have interaction with these objects, but this small candle casts shadows in real time? Priorities. Check RT in this small cave. Unfortunately, I have to restart the game, so I'm just skipping RT for this one, I think. What I find hilarious is that we don't have a lot of destructible objects, smaller objects, but a small candle casts shadows in real time. Do you think it runs on Steam Deck? It probably will. It's marked as playable, so I'm pretty sure it does run. The question is how much upscaling we have to use. That's the main thing. Anyway, let's put DLSS on quality. And now we have frame gen. Gotcha. Okay, DLSS quality gives us a small improvement. Very small improvement. Something seems to be off with the options menu. Does it even work? Yeah, it does work. Never mind. Okay, there it goes. Although, in this card, I would say TSR 100% looks better on 1080p. Delta Force? Yeah, I need to play Delta Force. I actually skipped it when it came out, and then I forgot it existed. So yeah. Anyway, 1080p, epic settings, seems to be good. Although if you want to have some room to spare, maybe high settings makes more sense. Just keep textures on the highest. It should keep us above 60. Yeah, I mean, from epic to high, I think you can notice the performance improvement. Although the draw distance is way worse. Yeah, sliding up the stairs. I do that in a lot of games actually. I do it in Horizon Zero Dawn. I always spam the sliding on stairs to go up quicker. Don't try that at home. Oh, okay. So there you go. There's a loading screen in between. So that's why it's not open world.
Is this what it's like to travel with her? You're used to this.
Murderers!
How awful.
Not to worry, M.2. Got bastards.
Excuse me, I need to read this note. Clear evidence, but I'll take it. Thank you. Dude. This breaks my heart. It's like... Yeah, I don't know how to describe this, but... It's just like... They did a nice environment, dropped some NPCs on it with very basic animations. And they basically barely know that you exist. Sometimes they look at you. Well, that's about it. What a waste of potential. Because the environment look gorgeous in comparison to the rest of the game. I mean, just look at this. And I don't hear any... I can barely hear some chatter in the distance. I'll I'll increase the audio so you can hear.
You startled me.
I mean, this is supposed to be a city. What's going on?
There's a joke about Paradis's government in here.
Transformer or CNN? Transformer. I am Optimus Prime, and I'm going to increase your image quality. Yeah, maybe there's a lore reason for this.
You know, I feel safe with the guard presence around here. Don't sign any petition. I had a guy ask me whether dreams had a taste here once.
Watcher is a fraud.
But she knew things about me. Things that I didn't even know.
Exactly. She made it all up.
Maybe you should talk to her.
Maybe you should...
I don't remember much about Outer Worlds, but it felt more alive.
Do you really think the Aegeans killed
High market. A haven of opulence in an otherwise nice city.
I'm actually excited for Outer Worlds too. And what I was talking about destructible items, these that have this icon can be destroyed. But that's about it. Only hype for the new Mafia game.
You can't afford it.
I'm excited for The Last of Us 2 on PC actually. The combat in that game. Imagine that with mouse and keyboard.
Hey, you have to check in with me to enter this part of the...
Welcome to our shrine, envoy.
Anyway, 1440p. So on 1080p, actually if you put everything on high and textures on epic with quality DLSS, you're fine. Above 60 basically across the board. Just don't enable ray tracing, it's not worth it. In my opinion. Unfortunately, to change the resolution, we gotta go to the desktop. The Last of Us 2 PC ported by the same guys as the last time. Actually, I think they had the port ready for a while, but after the reception of the first game on PC, they were like, okay, let's polish it a little bit. Here, Nixes, come help Iron Galaxy polish The Last of Us 2. We released part 1, but it was a mess. Please, Nixes, help us fix it. So I'm hopeful it will run the same or a little bit better than The Last of Us Part 1. Because Part 1 came after Part 2, actually, when it came to the PS5 game. Sí, pide mucho CPU este juego, pero especialmente en las ciudades. Pero no pasa nada en las ciudades, entonces ¿cuál es el sentido? So, guys, I was saying in Spanish. Somebody was saying about the CPU requirements that are pretty high. Yeah, I agree. It's mostly in the cities, but at the same time, my question is, why would it require that much CPU usage in the city if there's barely anything going on? It makes no sense at all. $1440p now. High settings. Epic textures. DLSS quality, the transformer model. We changed the DLL. So we have the newest DLSS. Yeah, I agree. Chocoron. So it's Nixes. Yeah, Nixes and Iron Galaxy are working on The Last of Us Part 2's PC port. If you look at the Steam page, it has Iron Galaxy and Nixes. My guess is that Iron Galaxy was porting it at the same time as Part 1, and then Sony bought Nixes, and they were like, okay guys, go help out Iron Galaxy. Hopefully it was a handover to Nixes, but I mean, Nixes didn't do so well with Spider-Man 2, so They probably have all hands on deck on that one. Yeah, the city is basically dead. But wait, there's a low frame rate animation character moving around. That's it, my i5 catches on fire. Way too much processing. Nice skin, bro. Oh! This is the second time this happens to me. I wasn't expecting him to look at me. You got your hands on 50 series? No, I'm not playing with the 50 series for now. I'm here, look at me. Hi. Speaking of CPU, doesn't Dark Ages have Threadripper in its requirements? It does? What for?
Envoy, got a situation over here.
You do. Good for you. Okay, I think balanced DLSS will make more sense. But I think at 1440p, it's okay. Quality or balanced DLSS, and again, you get those lumen software reflections. You get the software global illumination. And yeah, uses CPU in the towns where, again, barely anything happens. But at least when it comes to the GPU performance, we're fine. You're very sleepy? Me too. Sergio, ¿qué tal? What do you think about the game? So far, I like the combat. The combat, when it comes to animation, doesn't look flashy at all. It looks very basic, very janky, it looks. But when I'm actually playing it, the combat feels good enough. It's not actually boring when it comes to combat, at least in my opinion. Then the environments, I really like them. The story, I haven't paid attention because I'm testing performance. So when it comes to gameplay so far, it's fine. I also like the magic, now that I have a book in my hand.
Oh no, you don't. Let's see what you got.
And there's also guns for some reason, which is pretty funny. You have magic that could burn everything to the ground, but there's also there's also handguns for some reason.
You got everything you need to fix up your armor. Let's head to camp.
¿Es posible cambiar la cámara a tercera persona? Sí, pero las animaciones en tercera persona son espantosas. En mi opinión. So he was asking me in Spanish if you could play in third person. Yes, you can, but in my opinion, the third person animations are horrible. Looks like somebody modded a first person game to be in third person. I mean, just look at this. Have you tried changing shadow settings? Yes, if you go below medium shadows, the shadows don't have any filter into them. You can see blocky edges. So I recommend at least medium shadows, but it has a big impact in performance. And then if you go to medium instead of high, the draw distance of the shadows is more noticeable. They pop in closer to the camera, but not a big deal. Medium shadows should be good. Okay, they were forced to third person after the game was finished. I mean, I can tell. I mean, if that's true, I believe you. I believe you because you can clearly notice. This is clearly just a first-person game. At Obsidian, you also need third person. Remember New Vegas? Oh yeah, right. My bad.
Who's ready for more?
Put character controller number 3. But it's a shame because it makes the game look worse. In first person you don't really notice that much. But with this, just moving the camera around, it's like it glides. Check. Like what? Oh, nighttime.
I haven't seen this much excitement in a while. Perhaps I've got you to thank for bringing it with you on.
Yeah, the environments look gorgeous. So on that front, they did a good job. Yeah, they ported the third-person animations from New Vegas. Definitely. I mean, this makes no sense. Especially when I move the camera to one of the sides, he like glides into place. I can kind of drift the character. Can make him drift. That's pretty funny. Alright, let's do 4K. Oh, before doing 4K though, you guys always ask me about frame gen, and this game does have frame gen for the 40 series cards. So looking at this way, we have 70 FPS. We're not using all the VRAM, which is good. So with frame gen, we got, instead of 70, let's add boost as well. Instead of 70 looking at that way, we have 101, so a 30 frame advantage while looking at displays. But the frame times are inconsistent, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but it does work. Let me restart the capture card super quick. It wasn't looking smooth. It should be better. What's auto? Not entirely sure what's the automatic preset. Usually I ignore when it says automatic on upscalers and frame gen. But I'm pretty sure auto is when you go above the refresher of the monitor, I think. But usually when they put that option, it does nothing. So I usually just don't look into them. FSR frame gen mod works surprisingly well. It makes sense. I mean, if it has DLSS frame gen, you can usually mod in FSR3's frame gen. Oops, wrong button. So that's one of the positives. I can feel the input lag, but my base frame rate is pretty high. My base frame rate is into the 50 to 60 FPS range. I noticed DLSS 4 is much better and sharper than DLSS 3. Agreed. It's pretty impressive. I'm happy that DLSS, the transformer model, actually works on 20 series cards as well. It runs a bit worse than the normal DLSS 3 and 2 when it comes to upscaling. But I'm pretty surprised. Also, by the way, I'm using the transformer model, so it should be... It'll probably run a little bit better when it comes to the non-DLL affected game. The stock game should run a tiny bit better with frame gen than what you see here. Another bear. Yeah, with the wand it kind of looks like Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, it makes sense. We have big castles, medieval setting, monsters, and magic. Oh.
Not bad. It's got natural light, right on the river. Just needs a little upkeep.
GG. Secret location. Nvidia says FrameGen with DLSS 4 performs better. Did they? I think it performs better, but on the 50 series cards. If I'm not misremembering. We also have ray tracing, the software ray tracing. If for some reason you need reflections on medium, I recommend you either put them on high or low, because on medium the reflections look very, how to say, grainy, but on low they remove the ray trace reflections and they put the screen space ones, and those look a lot better. If you're, again, in comparison to medium reflections. So if you want to use FrameGen, you can use it. It feels good. The base frame rate is pretty high, so it makes sense. This feature, DLSS 3 uses AI to predict and generate intermediate frames. Also supported with 40 series GPUs. Also 50 series. Okay. Let's put DLSS on performance and let's go 4K. Which I have to restart the game for, so one sec. Transformer FrameGen performs better and uses less VRAM. Oh, that explains why it works so well then. Because I actually forced the new FrameGen onto this game when I changed the DLL. So well, good. That's a good thing then. No, dice 3. Dice 3, pero es el 4 en realidad. Bajé el DLSS swapper y hice el cambio. Yeah, guys, it says DLSS 3 in the menu, but I changed it to DLSS 4 using DLSS swapper because I tried using the Nvidia app, but I couldn't find the game. And when it did, it told me I didn't have permissions because the Xbox games on PC, the Gamepass games, for some reason are encrypted. They're locked behind admin permissions, which is stupid because I own the computer, classic Windows stuff. So yeah, DLSS swapper was the only way. Yeah, the Nvidia app needs more tweaks. Definitely. Yeah, that completely sucks. Microsoft needs to change that. I shouldn't need admin permissions to update game files. Come on. Sí, tal cual, Rainbow. Cuando falta VRAM, es como que te falta RAM en el sistema. Molesto. Yeah, guys, for gaming, I would say if right now you get a 16GB card when it comes to VRAM, you should be more than enough when it comes to VRAM. Then if you're doing work, like production work, 24GB makes more sense. But only for gaming, I'm not entirely convinced. Unless the game has a VRAM leak somewhere. Okay, this should do it. So we're at 4K. Mid-high. Jesus Christ. DLSS performance. Epic textures. Doesn't seem to be using lots of VRAM, luckily enough. And no ray tracing because it doesn't work particularly great, especially on the CPU side. Cyberpunk creo que lo arreglaron eso. Yeah, Cyberpunk, I think it had a VRAM leak. But when it came out, everything leaked in that game. Okay, it looks way better, obviously, at 4K. When it comes to performance, we're close to the 3060. But since the VRAM usage is not close to 8 gigabytes, we're good. Kid is just a rainbow. Yeah, sometimes when there's a bug on Unity, or maybe you're using, what's the name of this other, Houdini? If you're doing a Houdini simulation, you need a lot of RAM, and the more VRAM you have, the better.
One for you. This one's mine. Watch the left.
But again, those are edge cases for people that need lots of memory. In games, that's not usually the case. Maybe they put a ridiculous texture pack like Fallout 4 that looks almost the same but uses double the VRAM, but other than that... You think GTA 5 still has a RAM leak? You remember trying to play on 8GB laptop and the game would hit the page file after 10 minutes? Do those 8 gigabytes on the laptop are shared with the VRAM of your GPU, or is it separate? Because if that's the case, some of those 8 gigabytes are actually being used for video memory. Yeah, Cyberpunk's menu can be a headache, I agree. Well, it was even worse before. I'm talking about the Cyberpunk's menu. Because sometimes you change settings, but it didn't apply sometimes, so you had to reapply all the settings again. It was an absolute pain in the ass. That game, especially on day one that I was here streaming, it was it was very unstable. 12 GB laptop, integrated GPU, so it probably shares RAM. Those 12 gigs, probably 4 are for the GPU. And 8 for the system. But keep in mind that Windows 11 uses more RAM than Windows 10. So maybe that's one of the reasons. Especially in GTA Online. This guy is just lying around. Good morning. Is Cyberpunk still broken in the menu? The only issue I had with Cyberpunk lately, after 2.0, is if I enable path tracing and the DLSS ray reconstruction stuff. The ray reconstruction stuff breaks the game for me. I don't know why in Cyberpunk. It just doesn't work properly for me. I had to change DLLs and restart the game a couple times, and there it would start looking correct. But when I went to some places, it just refused to look good with the ray reconstruction. Yeah, DLSS 4 is available for every card actually, the upscaling part, not the multi-frame generation.
Now I see why.
Anyway, so yeah, that's about it. So funny. I think I had enough. I was expecting actually way more from the actual world than the NPCs. On social media, people were calling it, oh yeah, it's Obsidian's Skyrim, which they said no, it's not. Some other people say it's woke, which whatever. If the game is good, I don't really care. Just look at Baldur's Gate 3. But what bothers me about this game is the high CPU usage in towns, but the towns are completely dead. It's like there's just NPCs standing around doing nothing. So it's like, okay, the environments look nice, the gameplay feels good. It doesn't look good from the outside, but I think it plays pretty well. But then when it comes to the world, there's a huge town over here with people standing around doing nothing, and my CPU is crying for some reason. So performance is okay. The thing is, the CPU performance in towns, GPU performance I think is good. But other than that, the cities are super disappointing. I think I'd much rather they made a linear game with this combat than having like open locations with just bland NPCs.
Keep your helmet on. He's only been there a day.
You cannot even attack NPCs and be a bad guy. If you take something that doesn't belong to you, they don't care. I mean, you probably saw this for yourself just watching this live stream. Yeah, I mean, who didn't try to download more RAM and a graphics card? I mean, it's basically, again, dead cities, dead NPCs, bland animations. In first person, I think the animations look nice. As an example, swords and stuff like that. I think it needs more momentum to the animations, but the combat feels comfortable. The combat, I enjoy it. Especially like the way that you use magic with the wand and all that. And well, third person was obviously added later for some reason, because your character can drift, and the third person animations are horrible. I mean, just look at me drifting my character. It's hilarious. Yeah, the NPC clothes also, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the NPCs in general are a disappointment. I mean, look at him, he's so dead in the eyes. And I can clip my book through the NPCs. Look at him. Hello, sir. Sorry about the book. It's not you, it's me. Also the wand. The shield as well. Okay, they definitely forgot to do that trick of the first person view model. That the view model should be in front of everything. So you shouldn't be able to get it through the NPCs. Basically, my sword should always be in front. Shouldn't be able to be obscured by other objects. So, oops. Although I think that's because, yeah, third person... No, third person looks different than first person. Yeah. I don't know. Well, yeah, the music is disabled, so that makes it different. But I mean... Yeah. It's pretty mid. Combat is nice. The rest is pretty mid. I'd rather they made a linear game instead. With this combat. And as you can see, the NPCs are just standing there. Nobody moved in all this time. I mean, just look at him doing like this all the time. It's like when I pretend to speak, and I'm not supposed to speak. I'm like... I mean, it's just exactly... And it feels like Oblivion OST. It's like, what are we doing here? So yeah, that's pretty disappointing, honestly. If you like combat and basic RPG stuff, I'd say it's interesting if you have a Game Pass. Otherwise, at least my first impressions of almost 3 hours in the game is pretty mid. I like the combat in first person, but that's about it. The rest is pretty bland. And the fact that it uses so much CPU in the city is stupid. It makes no sense. So yeah, definitely a game of all time. Yep. Again, if you're curious and you have 75 gigabytes of internet, download those 75 gigs if you have Game Pass, and just for the combat itself I think is worth checking out. Anything else really, pretty bland and boring. It's very disappointing. Yeah, it's mid. Combat I think is a little bit more than mid when it comes to gameplay itself. But then the rest is pretty meh. It's like somebody dropped like the environment, put some random NPCs doing basic animations, and that's it. So yeah, Hogwarts Legacy 2.0. I wish, if that's the case, it would be an interesting game with more characters and interesting stuff going on, but that's not the case. So yeah, again, thanks to Xbox for providing Gamepass PC. Thanks to them I can make this video with Game Pass. Again, this game, if you have Game Pass, give it a shot if you like the combat. Otherwise, just play something else. There's hundreds of games on Game Pass, so thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, go play Indiana Jones. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys. See ya next time. Yeah, maybe next time they get it right. Hopefully Outer Worlds 2 is pretty good. Who knows? Steam Deck, probably tomorrow. We'll see. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Love you all. Steam Deck goes next, but in a separate video. I've been here for 3 hours. Have a good one.